In a continuing effort to raise awareness of pedestrian safety, units from FCPD roll out in force during the evening rush hour. The operations were based on pedestrian enforcement crash data.
There isn't one single overarching factor or violation that contributes to the pedestrian crashes. There are certain commonalities among them, whether it be after dark, not sufficient lighting, not crossing within a crosswalk, the pedestrian under the influence of alcohol, the motorist under the influence of alcohol, driving without headlights. Again, there's not one overarching theme, but what we primarily see as being our biggest contributing factor is not using a crosswalk when crossing or not crossing at an intersection by the pedestrian. The burden is about 50-50. We see about 50% of the time the pedestrian's at fault, the other 50% of the time the motorist is at fault. So we each share a burden to look out for one another to keep each other safe.
If you're crossing a crosswalk, you should not assume that you're going to be safe because you don't know what the vehicle is going to do. You're hoping that a vehicle is going to stop. You're hoping that that person driving that vehicle knows the law of the Commonwealth of Virginia and that the pedestrian has the right of way. Well, unfortunately, that's not always the case. You have to be accountable for yourself and be safe for you. If you don't think the situation is a good one, don't do it. Just wait that extra few minutes or seconds and then cross.
Densely populated areas, it's not only within Fairfax County, but on a national level, tend to experience more pedestrian-related crashes. When you look at urban areas or highly populated suburban areas, you see a number of factors which could possibly contribute to this. You see a number, dwelling houses, apartments are closer together. You see a decline in the number of people that are driving to work. People that live within the urban areas a lot of times will bicycle or walk to work. So we see an increase in the number of pedestrians. You also see intersections that are closer together. Cars back up more, decreasing visibility. So the fact that more people are walking, the fact that cars are more prevalent, backed up, there are more traffic lights, more chances for people to dart in and out between cars, all of those factors contribute to there being more pedestrian-related crashes in urban areas.
Among the worst offenders we see are bus riders. The riders exit from the bus and instead of walking to the corner, try to cross busy roadways where the bus is stopped.
To them, it's ease, it's quickness. They're trying to get to point A to point B as fast as possible, and the way to do that is, well, I can go from here straight across. I don't want to walk the extra 100 feet to the crosswalk. Well, that's the problem, and that's where we get into issues where a person gets in an accident with a vehicle.
Adding to the problem is the fact that nearly every pedestrian is wearing dark clothing, head to toe, making them almost invisible to drivers, including the police.
You can buy a fluorescent vest online for about $5. Go to your local sporting goods store. They all sell it for runners. Light clothing, if you can, have a flashlight. Point the flashlight down at your feet. It's going to illuminate your feet. People are going to see you. And that's just going to help not only you see where you're going, but a vehicle seeing the light. The other thing that we recommend is that if you can cross where there actually is a lit light pole, that always helps drivers being able to see a person at night.
DMV tells us to look left, look right, look left, and look over your shoulder before you step out onto the roadway. So we should always be cognizant of any vehicles, bicycles that are coming towards us, and how far away are they? How fast does it look like they're moving? What's the speed limit here? Is it safe for me to step out in here? Regardless of whether I have the right of way or not legally, is it safe for me to step out and cross here? School-age children do not possess the ability, as some adults do, to be able to judge distance and speed, time, distance, and speed. That's a prime example of why we have crossing guards at school crossings, to help them get across the road. The overall goal of the traffic division is to reduce serious vehicle crashes and fatalities through education and enforcement.
As a part of the effort, officers on patrol make sure every pedestrian they encounter walks away with a flyer about pedestrian safety and a cautionary comment from the officers. One of the helpful flyers reminds pedestrians and cyclists to be visible. Wearing bright colored clothing or reflective fabric and using flashlights or bike lights helps you to see and to be seen. Drive Smart Virginia notes that visibility equals safety. They suggest using your headlights when driving. Make it automatic and you won't add to the danger. If we all play it safe, we'll reduce the sad calls made to notify next of kin in a pedestrian crash. We'll return with another segment. Stay with us.